Hello there everybody, this is Speckblocklime here with another video reaction for all of you today. Now the video we're gonna do is from the channel, I hope I say it right, like I said, if I say a channel name wrong, it's bad, but you know, I'll at least make sure to try to spell it right in the link down below to the channel and the video. So I'm gonna say Emirichu, and the video we're doing today is when I tried to fight my middle school bullies over, what was it again? Something about artwork. Sorry, sometimes the thing I wrote is a little messed up. But either way, I'll try to make sure the link down below to the video itself. So, you know, and title. Okay, so what is it gonna be about? Like what happened? Well, I'm sure something about bullying. So it'll be interesting to hear someone else's side about what they went through and what happened. So without further delay, let's get on to the video.
Before I tell this story, I'd like to begin by saying this happened a decade ago, and I don't at all condone any of my actions from this story. You know, I didn't have the best decision-making skills at age 11 to 12. Please don't start physical fights with people. Okay, thanks. When I was in middle school, I was very protective of my sketchbook and didn't like it when anyone other than my friends looked through it. I think at the time I wasn't very confident in my art, and I also didn't like it when people watched me draw. So I'd always cover my sketchbook whenever I drew in it at school. Of course, this seemed to only make people more curious. One day in my 7th grade art class, a boy wanted to look in my sketchbook, and even after I'd said no, he took it from me anyway. I freaked out and started grabbing at it in a panic, and I guess he thought that was amusing, so he started tossing it to his friends, who tossed it amongst each other, and it quickly turned into a game of monkey in the middle. I eventually caught up to one of the boys, let's call him George, and in a fleeting moment of anger and panic, I kicked him in the shin as hard as I could. He fell to the floor, writhing in pain, but I got my sketchbook back, so that was of no concern to me. However, the next day, when I got to school, it turned out George now had a large bruise on his shin, and in retaliation, he decided to spread a rumor about me. He told everyone that I drew porn. Emily draws porn. Why else would she be hiding?
I'm not defending what he's doing, but I kind of get it a little bit why he did it.
12-year-old me was horrified, and although at first I tried to ignore the rumor, George and his friends would frequently taunt me in class and outside of class, and it had even gotten to the point where even 8th graders who I didn't know would come up to me and ask me to draw them porn. One time, one of my classmates asked me if I could draw a girl's head for him to help him get started on a picture, and I happily obliged. But the next day, I learned that he'd added a crudely drawn naked body right underneath it and told everyone that I had done it. I felt so betrayed. One of George's friends, let's call him Jerry, had a locker right next to mine, and ever since the porn rumor took off,
not like terrible, but you know, come on. He'd go, if it was a random person, it's one thing, but
it never failed to ruin my day.
You know, come on, someone you thought your friend.
One day I came
but sometimes
home
people are
crying
dumb,
to my
you
two
know,
older
in school,
brothers
so
and told
I guess
them about my dilemma,
things happen.
and they responded with, "Why don't you just beat them up?"
You're right. That's a great idea. Why didn't I think of that sooner?
It was not a great idea.
Beating up people, that's the advice you get. Like, you should say that for in case it gets physical with you.
Things turned to me and said, "Hey Emily, draw me some porn." And as soon as the words had left his mouth, I slammed his head against his locker. I started attacking him.
It just shows how Emirichu was, because not all girls would just like start doing something like this.
After that day, he stopped bothering me and actually went out of his way to avoid me. Anyways, a few days afterwards,
it just shows how much, like, I'm not saying that there are not girls that can get like curious, but you know, they're not even physically doing anything to her directly, and she's already doing this stuff. Just how some people are sometimes, you know, where they can be pushed.
Head to the back, and as soon as we got there, we saw a group of boys sitting at one of the tables, which included several of my bullies. And I was pissed. "Hey, Maria?" "Yeah?" "Can you hold my ice cream?" The next memory is almost now a blur to me, but there was a lot of chasing, pulling, kicking, hitting, and yelling. Funny enough, the two boys who had nothing to do with my torment didn't need to run because I wasn't targeting them. So they kind of just sat there with their ice cream
Oh my
and
god.
watched me chase their friends.
That would have been... I think I
Also,
might have
for
been in a
some
situation
reason,
once there.
Not a single employee noticed this little Asian girl terrorizing some of their other customers. Come to think of it, there was a surprising lack of adults in every single one of these events. After that whole incident, nobody really brought up the rumor again, at least not to my face. And in case anyone is wondering, I haven't tried to pick a
I think I might have been in that
fight with
situation
anyone
once where I
since
saw
then.
that happen. I was
And
like,
I get
what's
kind
happening?
of embarrassed when I remember that part of my middle school life. I can guarantee you that if I ever tried to pick a fight with someone now, I would most definitely lose. I wouldn't be able to fight my way out of a paper bag with these noodle arms. I know a lot.
I think back then they were more even. Even a girl could still fight a kid off with an extent.
But if you ever experience a situation like this, please don't do what I chose to do. Be better than me. I could have avoided this entire situation if, instead of kicking George...
I know there's always that saying, like, oh, you're gonna get more trouble. Like, yeah, but I feel like you should risk that a little bit, like, to tell an adult or the teacher, because you should explain what's the situation, and then hopefully together you can think about what can be done, because maybe there's a simple solution.
I started this whole mess to begin with, so if you want to see the stuff that was in it, let me know. And in case anyone is wondering, I didn't hold a grudge against George and his friends afterwards, and I don't think they held a grudge against me. In high school, I continued to have classes with them, and although we didn't interact much, we also didn't have a problem with each other either. It was like a weird part of middle school history that we never brought up with each other, and that was perfectly fine
Oh,
with
yes,
me.
the middle school weirdness. The middle school moments of we never bring them back, either because they were not important enough to be brought back, embarrassing, crazy, or just weird. And middle school time is like that one part where most of the time it just gets forgotten or erased or don't want to get remembered. Right? It's weird, right? It's like elementary, you kind of remember stuff fondly, but then in middle school, it's like you forget or you want to forget. And hopefully it was something not too terrible that happened. Either you didn't do something really bad or something bad didn't happen to you. I hope that out there for everybody. I hope there's nothing really bad happened to everybody. I hope. Anyway, that was an interesting video. I liked it. I like hearing stories of other people. I can't really add too much, like I said, because it's more of a story thing than info or anything like that. But, you know, bullying is complicated. You should stand up, I think, in my opinion. But not like, it's not always physical. You should stand up maybe with friends or, you know, teachers, assistants, or, you know, like that. Because I think I feel in my opinion, you should try to do something. Don't take extremes, don't go crazy. But I feel at least you should talk things out, think about things a little, and then see what you can do. Try hopefully not to be alone and think things alone. Like, just see what can be done. Because I think, in my opinion, it's better to stand up in some form, whether it be something written, getting assistance, and I guess it's maybe if it's pushed far enough at the end, physically. But I feel like that should be saved until like the end. I feel that you shouldn't let yourself pushed around so easily. You should just try to find a solution to it as best as you can, and because if you just don't let it, I think, do anything and let it fester, I feel like that will hurt you in the long run. And even after, if say they forget about you or time passes, you still let things go on for a while, and I don't know. All I'm saying is judge the situation and see what can be happened or done. So anyway, check out the channel, check out this video, there are many others. This is Speckblocklime. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification button to get notified about future videos. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. Take care and see you next time.